Camarades, bonjour.
Take a listen at the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, give a message to the Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana, for him to take it to the Europeans, about the reality and real situation in Burkina Faso, so that they may discard the misinformation that they might have probably heard about the Sahel country through the biased media. It is June 14, 2025, and the 37-year-old Burkina leader is recognizing the presence of Onana in the crowd that had gathered at Manga multipurpose hall in Burkina's south-central region, to listen to his address and participate in his interaction with the living forces and various actors from the region. This is after the Manchester United goalkeeper, who is a Cameroonian national, and who had traveled to the Sahel country to show solidarity with the Burkina football icon Bertrand Traore's foundation, having accompanied Captain Ibrahim Traore to Guiba, where they all participated in the planting of trees that will form a forest designated to contain trees that will be used for traditional medicine purposes.
Camarades, bonjour.
Comrades, good morning. I must admit that it is with great pleasure that we are here this morning for these fruitful discussions, and also to take advantage of giving the continuation of our vision, the current perspectives, so that we can together plot our route, or as they said, stay on this route until the final objective. I would like, first of all, before any remarks, to pay tribute to all our fighting forces who are on the ground. Whether they are the National Armed Forces, the Internal Security Forces, the VDPs, the Togolese, or any person who works so that these forces have information and can progress on the ground, we pay tribute to them, and it is thanks to them that we can meet today in certain forests to plant medicinal weapons as we launched this morning. And it is thanks to them that we can also meet here to be able to commune and exchange on the question of the development of our homeland. We chose the South Central region for the launch of our reforestation campaign, but especially of medicinal plant groves, because in our health systems we are in a reform to take into account our medicinal plants, which are cultural values that we have had for a long time. Our ancestors treated themselves with these plants. Until today we treat ourselves with plants. We therefore want to develop this aspect so that we have the choice of treating ourselves with plants or with modern medicine, or by combining the two. And besides, our researchers are hard at work to allow us to refocus on our plants, and I think they have already discovered many medicines in well-defined dosages from our medicinal plants which contain natural molecules and are good enough to treat many ailments. And Manga is also renowned for its traditional medicine. So we chose to be in the region here to do the launch and the activity. We will continue throughout the territory in the different provinces, and we hope in the years to come to have more groves of this kind in all the departments of Burkina Faso, and that all our scientists in the field can also express their talent. I planted a small forest on my small farm, and every day that I leave and I am under the trees, I am very happy. It gives me a pride that we cannot express, so I urge everyone to be able to plant, maintain and see the tree grow. It really makes me happy. There are many grievances that have been brought forward through the discussions right away, but which can be summarized in a few grievances, because the grievances overlap, and I will therefore go point by point, if I can say group point, to explain to you where we are starting from, because it is very important at every moment to be able to exchange and to tell you at what stage we are and where we are starting from. That is also the revolution. The revolution is to communicate and make the people, the popular masses, understand what we are doing and where we are going to continue, and as long as we do not communicate, we cannot understand each other. So there is a need at all times to access the opportunity to be able to communicate. You see that the enemies of the nation do not lack in any case ink or saliva to speak. There is Jinnah that's fighting against Burkina Faso or against the AES, and it goes without saying that we too can communicate as we can, so that the rest of the world understands that what they say from Burkina is not necessarily true. And I would like to acknowledge the presence among us of a gentleman, a Cameroonian international footballer, Andre Onana, who wanted to support his brother Bertrand for the activities of his foundation, and who accompanied us this morning on behalf of visiting footballers to the forest for the planting, and who is currently in the room here, and I think that is proof. Thank you. I think this is tangible proof of what we are seeking, our fight for Africa to unite. And as I said, there is no border between Cameroon and Burkina Faso. We are Africans, that is the priority. Being in Europe, they are Africans. Being in Africa, they are Africans. And so there is no reason for us to put barriers between us, and I hope that all Africans can sign, as the example they are giving us. And secondly, it's also a message that he came to convey, because it's certain that being in England, it's not obvious that everyone understands the situation in Burkina, with the imperialist media that are spreading everything. This morning, he was in the forest with us, we did the planting, we traveled together and we are here. So I think that when you return to Manchester, you will make them understand that Burkina is not without fire or 100% safe. As we already know, there's certainly war, but we continue the fight and we will recover the entirety of our territory and secure it. That's the objective. So thank you again to all these ambassadors who are spreading the message that Burkina is still standing. Let's talk about the infrastructure issue. Transport infrastructure, and I said it to certain authorities right away, it is a crucial problem for all of Burkina Faso. We do not have enough roads, we have very few roads, and the few roads that there are deteriorating. So it is an observation that we have made, the road network is suffering a lot, and that is why we decided to launch the initiative in the face of which is only at its start, but the objective is to designate each region with a road construction brigade, and the first brigades have arrived. I bet you have followed it. God willing, in a few days to come, other brigades will be there, and we want that before the end of the year, each region will have its own brigade. Each region will have its brigade, generally involved in the recruitment, so the majority of the workforce will be recruited in the region to build the roads of the region. So I invite you to take this initiative in hand, to make your initiative when your brigade is there, to do everything possible so that it can quickly build the maximum number of roads that you want, and we will continue in this direction so that even the rural roads you were talking about will all be built. That's the goal, it's like that. So by 2026, we will have built a lot of roads. We have ambitions to be able to build thousands of kilometers each year. And if a breakdown of thousands of kilometers means that the roads you mentioned here, whether going uphill or going towards the border, everything must be paved by then. So your brigade will come and you will take care of it. So you will welcome it and you will therefore get involved so that everyone puts their hand to the plow and you will build your roads yourselves. You will maintain your roads yourselves, and I count on everyone, when the brigade comes, to do their part, whether it is economic operators or producers, everyone will do their part to participate in the construction of these transport infrastructures. Concerning the health aspect, I think that the Manga CHR is practically finished, and I think that there are many things that may be missing, but the ministry is working hard to equip all the CHRs. We found situations where minimal imaging did not exist. I remember that last year at the Sepase, I was at the exit of the cadets' offices and I had heard that in this big city, there was not even an ultrasound. No device to do an ultrasound when there is a woman who needs it. But we were able to solve the problem, but it is only occasional. This is to tell you how poorly equipped our hospitals were. But the ministry is very happy, and I think that a lot of equipment is being installed, whether it's dialysis, imaging devices or many other things, It's in progress. So for all those who haven't yet been served, I can assure you that you will be served and you will no longer need to travel to major centers to have certain tests done. The same goes for the units for the elderly. So they are thinking about a global model. It's true that in Ouagadougou, there's a model that was launched in Bobo Dioulasso. We had to slow down construction first so that the ministry could think about a global model that we could put everywhere. That is to say, a unique model, and also not a model that will lose value in 5 or 10 years. Everything we want to build today, we don't want to say that it's outdated in 50 years. We have to build while taking into account the duration. It's in the same vein, even the Bobo Ouaga highway, what was planned is just a 2x2x2 road, but I said a 2x2 road in 10 years, it will be outdated. We had to go for a 3x2x2 road so that it's big enough, wide enough. So everything we want to do in this direction, we're waiting to think about how to do it over time. So it may take a little time, but the ministry is working on it. They will propose something to us shortly in the same vein.